But if you trying to achieve a goal and you know that you need to do the necessary things so you could be at this, level next year, then you gotta make that sacrifice.
Yeah.
Welcome to Entrepreneurhood, where we break entrepreneurship down into three simple pillars: business, lifestyle, and motivation. Our goal is to use our personal experiences as industry leaders to guide and inspire young entrepreneurs to see the lesson in every challenge. Because we understand that companies don't succeed, people do. Now, welcome the leaders of Entrepreneurhood, Lakim and KB.
Welcome to the neighborhood. You got your boy Lakim in the building, and I got my brother KB in the building with me. We on episode 63, and we decided to call this one Now or Never, right? So KB and I, we decided to pick this topic, and KB's gonna let y'all know why we chose this topic and what this topic is all about, what this episode is about. But before we do that, we do want to jump into our segment, W's and L's, which stands for wins and lessons. So KB, this week, last week, what are you presenting to the neighborhood this week? Do you got a W or do you got an L?
Listen, man, I think fourth quarter has been my best part of my 2023.
Wow.
But I got a W. The house I was selling, we are officially in contract.
Let's go. Okay.
So it's exciting, because taking that other L with the other house in September, I missed out on the 40 grand commission. This doesn't make up the 40 grand, but it makes up the feeling of being accomplished. So I'm definitely excited and thankful for that. And it's a part of the journey.
Nice. And when a house is in contract, how long does it normally take before I guess you go to close, or what's that process like?
Normally it takes about 3 months, depending on the lender or depending on, the attorneys and everything involved. But we're trying to close December 29th. Yeah, we're not playing around.
Success does love speed.
Yeah. So I solved that problem, but I led to another problem because she has to find the house now.
Oh, wow.
So we had to find the house to close like simultaneously after, or at least like a week after or 2 weeks after. So she can't buy a new house until she sell her own. So you solve one problem, there's another one is next.
A new problem presents itself. But that's a beautiful thing though. Like that's what I teach a lot of my clients is like, yo, you want to think of a problem solution cycle where once you provide a solution, a new problem reveals itself, problem solution, and it's like a never ending cycle. So I actually like that. I think that's a good cycle that you got the client in right now.
Yeah, I'm happy for it. I give her a deal because it's going to be 2 deals that, I'm going to be eating off of. And she's been difficult, but she's been much better now. I've been praying for her. So so this lady, she really tested my patience. And it made me better. And now she understands, like, all right, this is how he does business. Let me not stop asking him, the same question 10,000 times.
You firm, bro. You firm on, but I think people respect that. And that's the beauty in that.
Yeah. And the trust, when you build the trust with the client, they start ease up because, she dealt with people that was mistrust, show her mistrust. So I get her story, but it's just like, I'm here now. Like, we good.
Yeah, nah, I like that, bro. And then for myself, I think this week, I think I'm gonna spin it. I'm gonna spin it and make it a W instead of an L because what my W is just me learning more aspects of my business and making more improvements on the business throughout the week. So I was just noticing like some holes in the game with how I could improve my offer. And since we spoke a few episodes ago about improving my sales script and just getting back to the basics of asking the right questions, I made a lot of improvements last week. And I feel like I was able to take clients on a better journey from truly creating and uncovering their pain, right? And then being able to provide the solution at a more I don't know, just it felt like it was more customized because before I just felt like I was jumping right into the presentation, of my offer instead of the diagnosing aspect, right? So for me, I got back into the diagnosing, like how we shared in the previous episodes, and I felt really good. I was able to go through the process a lot smoother, and I felt better about it. So to me, that felt like a W, right? However, it still is a triggering point of us talking about this topic now or never. Because even though it felt good, I still feel like the client was like, well, I know I'm in pain, but let's do it after the holidays, right? So that's, I think, a big reason of why we're going to be talking about this topic. So I think let's transition into that.
Gotcha. So you're saying the L is that you didn't close them yet?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's a two-way. It's a W and an L. A W I diagnosed it perfectly, exactly by the book. The L is, yeah, I want to do it, but after the holidays. And I'm like, yo.
I like how people go the idea I'm going to make more money after I spend all this money.
Crazy, bro. It just don't make no sense. But let's tell them why we decided to choose this topic, bro, because I feel like it's not something that just you and me experience. I feel like anybody who's in business that has to close clients and, you know, just if you're in the process of growing your business, you're gonna go through this.
Yeah. The reason we chose this topic, now or never, because it's like you said, it's a consistent factor in business where clients know they're in pain, but they feel like they have more time, and you know they can't do nothing about it because of other circumstances that's not going to actually bring value to their situation. So the now or never aspect of it is you want to attack it now and rather than never, because it's going to hurt more later on. So you want to make those adjustments fast as possible.
100%, bro, because I feel like the experiences that we've been having with clients is they know they're in pain, right? But for some reason, they're like, let me just stay in pain for a little bit longer, right? And then eventually, when my back is completely against the wall, then I'm going to reach out to you. But I feel like at that point, they won't even be in a clear state of mind. So they're going to be coming to us in like a desperation stage, right? And it's our job as the closers, as the CEO, as the solution providers, to like guide them to not wait until they're in desperation.
Yeah. And to give a practical example, for example, credit repair. So being that I've been taking on more clients for credit repair, it's like, yeah, you have a 580 credit score now. Your utilization is probably 6%. You got 2 collections and a late payment. Now you said, I don't want to do it now. I'm gonna wait till later. As you wait till later, one, you're gonna be spending more money in interest, and then you're gonna create more money. I mean, have more spending habits because of the holidays. And now you're gonna be in a worse position, and then you're not gonna have the actual money to pay for the service.
Yep.
So it's just one of those things where it's like your priorities is all wrong. And you keep having this thing like, I got time or I can do this. Like, you don't understand, if you are a business owner, every season is not going to be the same. So when we have used to a certain type of lifestyle, we're not used to scaling back on certain things. So for you to say to your significant others, you say to your kids, like, we're going to have a great Christmas, but it's not going to be exactly how it was before, or how it was last year. And then, what you think about what Christmas is supposed to be about is a whole different other story. But that's not what it's supposed to be about. But everybody wants to, give gifts in exchange. I get that. But if you trying to achieve a goal and you know that you need to do the necessary things so you could be at this, level next year, then you got to make that sacrifice.
Yeah.
I think the sacrifice is missing from those people. And, it's sad because you're going to put yourself in a worse predicament. And the people around you are not going to have nothing to be proud about.
Facts. So let me kind of tell you, a scenario that the last few scenarios that I've been experiencing with, in regards of the now and never, right? So the last few consultations or sales calls that I've been doing, my assessments, it's been people in various businesses, right? So one lady, she has 2 businesses she really wants to grow. And one, she like make different flowers, right? And it's a flower that it's a handmade flower. So it's a fake flower, but it looks real. And the idea is it's a flower that looks the same forever, because she's solving a really good problem where people who love buying flowers, the issue is when you buy a flower in 2 weeks, it's dead, right? And then you got to keep going through that cycle. So she creates handmade flowers that look real. And she had like a crazy tag where it was like a flower that I give to you that will last as long as I love, or so I don't know. It was fire. So I was like, yo, what you have is a very solid business. We just need to create a customer journey so we can have more people be exposed to this, because the issue is when you hear a fake flower, you think it's something cheap.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's
some crab stuff.
Exactly. It's the first thing that comes to most people's mind is like, I ain't gonna get no fake flower, bro. Like whoever I'm gifting this to is gonna think I'm broke. Right? Like, you getting me a fake flower, I want a real one. So, I was explaining to her like, yo, what we need to do, we need to be able to earn people trust, let them experience, just a rose or whatever type of flower we could give, and then we could build on that. We could really create a solid customer journey. And I uncovered a lot of her problems, but I feel like I could have done a better job. But at the end, I'm like, all right, so let's, take this step by step. And after our first call, we have to do a follow call. And the follow call, she was like, yeah, and the follow call was like a week or so later. She's like, yeah, like Kim, I got a lot going on. And yeah, let's do this after the holidays. And I'm like, yo, I don't think, maybe I explain or I didn't explain the severity of the time frame. Like, it's holiday season, like people are in a loving mood. People are in a mood of giving.
Yeah, capitalize.
Yeah, in a mood of receiving. So it's like it was frustrating, bro, because I'm like,
wait, and for the record, there's always going to be something going on.
Yeah.
But go ahead, bro.
That's what I'm saying. So it was like, it was really frustrating because I'm like, yo, I know I could help her. And I know that the best time to start is now. Because if we create this now, even if we're still in the building stage during this season, if everything is built and ready to roll out, and let's say we're able to roll out in January, boom. Now we're able to capitalize on that other aspect, right? There's different seasons to this. So now if she reached out to me after the holidays, we got to go through the process, and then we're going to take all of January to build it. And she's going to miss another big wave of clientele that she could have secured. And maybe we're going to try to secure the Valentine's Day market. But it's like, we're missing. And I think the big thing I want people to realize is that, like, the best time to start was yesterday. The second best time to start is now, right? And when people, if you're in pain and you're looking for a solution, don't wait until, your back is completely against the wall before you think now you're going to take action. So, I guess one of my questions for you is, why do you feel like, even us included, we wait until, and most people, we wait until our back is against the wall before we feel the pressure to take action?
I think, I know for me, that's the only part about having, so much resilience, where it's like, yeah, my arm's not working, but all my legs is good. And I'll just keep going. I literally will keep going until, like, damn, your leg is not working and your arm not working. You got to do something about it. And I think that's the part for me where it's like, I just feel like if it's not stopping me, it's slowing me down, I'll figure how to, to maneuver without it. Like, I know how to play with a handicap instead of actually assessing the problem. So as I got older, I realized it's about taking a pause, analyze the situation, assess it, and then respond. And don't just keep going. And you're going to end up hurting yourself later on. Really, like Coach used to say, it's different between being hurt and being injured.
Yeah.
So, you know, I didn't want to play hurt continuously, and then that's going to make me injured, and then I really can't play at all. So I think it's just taking a step back, because New York, you know, mindset, you know, for the listeners who are in New York, it's just like you want to just keep going, don't stop, and it's like, let me assess it, but let me attack it strategically and really think, how can I think this situation? So if I'm in pain, where can I go to get help?
Yeah.
I gotta go to the doctor. I gotta get something over the counter. You know, then you realize, like, I keep having the same pain. It got to be an underlying issue.
Yeah.
Now I really got to go to a specialist, which is, you know, what we do. And let me go to a specialist because this general information, general answer solution is not working. So let me figure out what's going to be the cookie cutter for me, because you could go to YouTube, you go to Google, but it's not going to be specifically for your situation, and you
Not
can't
gonna be customized, right?
Yeah, you're not gonna get feedback, you know, from it. So you could try to look up, you know, credit things online, or, you know, fund it online, or try to look for your own house. But, you know, good luck with that. Like, it's gonna just take prolonged time. Like, time is so valuable, where it's like, if I can, you know, add more to me, we're not getting any more. So let me delegate or automate a lot of things I have to do in my life, because you're not getting less busier.
Yeah, I think we only get more busy with as life, you know, progresses, and I feel like that right there, KB, is so such an important aspect. Is like taking time to actually just getting the right customized help that you need is the biggest thing, because it's hard for people when they have limited funds to really value their time, because they're like, I don't really, you know, they I don't know. I think they think less of their time because they're like, I don't have money to solve my problem, you know. But I feel like when you're in a situation like that, that's when your time is even more valuable, or it's worth even more, because it's like, yo, how you spend this when you're down is going to determine if you ever could, you know, get your head above water again.
Yeah, that's essentially so true, because when I'm down, or if I'm having a slow month, or it's not what I expect it to be, the time that I have is like, yo, I have to utilize to figure out what went wrong and what can I do better tomorrow, what can I do better next week, what can I do better next month, how can I attack it? And I think that aspect is so hard for people to face what they're up against. Like, I don't want to look at my credit report. What do you mean?
Yeah.
You need to see what's going on every day. I don't want to look at my bank account. No, look at it, because it's gonna make you feel, you're gonna have that feeling bottom of your stomach, like, yo, I fucked up. You're gonna need that, because that's gonna change your decision making next time when you are up, or when you're on your way to accumulating more sales or more clients. You can be like, no, I don't want that no more. I don't want that. And you have a different desire, different taste for, you know, consumerism.
Yeah.
And I think that gut feeling, it'll shape you up. Like,
And I have something I want to add to that, because you remember at one point you said you was playing basketball, and I think you had like you hurt your shoulder, your back or something, and then you I don't know, like you just like, it's whatever, it's no big deal, and then you just kept trying to play through it until you realize, like, yo, I'm no longer hurt, I'm like truly injured. Like, and it took you until you were like in true pain for you to like take a step back and get it looked at. So, you know, do you want to talk about, can you talk about that?
yeah, that actually happened this year. I was playing basketball. I haven't played it in a while, and I ended up playing. So being that, you know, I'm fit, the older guys, they foul a lot. But they look at me from the exterior and like, oh, he's in shape, he plays all the time. I'm in shape, but not basketball shape, because basketball a lot of stopping and going. So they playing aggressive. I'm like, yo, we could play like that. However, they 300 pounds playing aggressive.
Jeez.
So they just throwing their weight around. But he particularly hit me in my back, like with his shoulder. And I felt it, but I kept playing.
The
But
adrenaline was still going.
yeah, after, it's like, damn, yo, this shit kind of hurt. And then the next couple of days, no, the next day I went to the gym. I'm like, yo, let me work out, me good, you know, stretch it out. And then next thing you know, I couldn't even lift my arm up.
Wow.
Without being in pain. And yeah, I had to take off 3 months from the gym.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yeah, I should have just stopped. Like I shouldn't have just kept going.
Mm-hmm.
And I was mad at myself, but it made me realize, like, I start, stretching more. I started realizing, like, yeah, I really got to take time out to recover because I'm not, 14 no more.
Right. Yeah.
And the people I'm playing against, they're not 14 either. Yep. So I was a dude 300 pounds, 40 years old, and intentionally trying to hit you, it really make like, all right, I got to protect myself even better now when I'm playing. So it was so much, thoughts in my process to realize, like, nah, if I kept going, now I'm out of commission.
And then we could bring that all back to business. It's the same thing when it comes to being in pain in business, whether you're looking for a service or you're trying to grow your business. Is like, yo, if you don't take the time to assess and take action in that moment, you're gonna be out of commission.
Yeah, and it messed with me mentally too, because if I'm not going to the gym and I couldn't work out, it's like I want to go, but I can't. Now I'm gaining weight. Now I'm just eating whatever because it's like it don't matter at this point. So it's just a trickle down effect that I felt lazy, and then I was mad about my business not being where it's at, clients falling through. So everything is connected.
That's so true, bro. And I think it really is all connected. You got any other like examples of clients or experiences of clients that you've kind of in that now or never phase, but they
yeah, for sure. It's all day. Real estate example. The first weekend I took these clients out, and I know now I know when you take out clients, they can see the perfect house the first weekend, but they're not gonna pick it because they just think it's more out there.
Mm-hmm.
So especially if they're not seasoned to the market. However, me being, the overachiever, I want to hit the nail on the coffin immediately.
Yeah.
And I showed them, 3 houses that day. One wasn't good. Other one was like in a price range, but it wasn't the best. And then I showed them the best house that they wanted to get. So the house they wanted to get, it was 800,000. No, it was 840, 850. And they was scared because they never owned a house. They've been renting for the last 16 years. So when they heard that, like, yo, 840, this is a lot. But it was nice house, beautiful, exposed brick, marble floors, everything fully renovated. Brownstone in Brooklyn. So, 2-family in Brooklyn. When it came down to it, we ended up looking at houses. They didn't want to look at it. It's like, no, it's too expensive. We started looking at other houses, 820 range, 800. We don't like this. It's not the neighborhood we want to be at. A whole year, come back around. The house, we was in contract for a house, but it fell through because the seller didn't want to make changes. So when it comes down to next summer, the house that they about to get is 900,000.
Wow. Yo.
And it changed because the interest rates change, and the value of everything goes up. So they like, yo, we didn't want to pay 840, and the house we about to get is 900,000, but it's not even the same as the one we had before. I'm like, I was trying to tell you.
Yeah.
So literally, they enjoyed the house, they love it. Is a different from what they thought, but it made them realize, yeah, I need to make decisions a little bit much faster. And I think, a lot of people don't get that second chance. And that was the longest I ever dealt with a client, because I'm like, a whole year, this ain't even like me. I'm trying to get you out the door about it in 2 weekends.
Yep.
But it showed me, like, that would be my forever testimony. So every time I go to their house, they're my favorite clients. They cook me, Sunday dinners, and like, yo, we really should listen to you from the beginning, but we didn't know. And I think that's the part of the ignorance that hurts people. It's like, what you don't know hurts you.
It really does.
When you speak to somebody who is a specialist and they're diagnosing you first and let you know, like, listen, this is what you want. This is what we're going to have to do to get there. This is the end goal. But you like, nah, I saw something on TikTok. I got time. I don't got to do that. Okay.
They're gonna feel the pain later, bro. And I feel like that's so true. And as you were saying that, something came to my mind on when, we're helping out indecisive people. Because to be honest, based on certain things, I can be indecisive as well. Like I'm fully aware that that's how I am. But one strategy that came to my mind, I don't know if you told me this before or someone did, but like if someone is really indecisive, for example, showing them houses, instead of showing them the best house first, if you have 3 houses, what I see a lot of people do is they show them the crappiest house first, then the second crappiest, and then the best house at the end, just so they can have something to compare it to, right? And even like with my designers of my on my designing team, right? Like if they're presenting me 3 different options, I feel like they intentionally do that, bro. They give me 2 options that look crappy, and I'm like, yo, no way I want that. So even the third option, even if I'm not 100% sold on it, because I have something to compare it to, like I hate those other 2 options. So you know what? This third one, let's go with that. It really helps. And as I'm saying that, I'm like, yo, I could start doing that even more with my clients of like, look, okay, so we can wait. Here are the options of what will happen if we wait, right? We could do this and get this taken care of now. Or if we wait, it's going to be, again, it could be more, it could take longer, or we just be straightforward and say, all we're doing is we're just pushing the finish line back. And when you present people with options, I feel like it really lets them know the true severity of the moment.
Yeah, I think that's very important. And it's funny because I did that with that couple, but I didn't attack their pains during that time.
Got you.
So I didn't say like, this is why what you need or you need to get a house, because basically they spent, I think it's probably like 400,000, 500,000 in rent all of those years.
Wow.
And they own nothing. And they gave this to, a landlord that wasn't doing anything for them. So now I do a combination of both where I show them something that's horrible, because if you really want to know your client, show them something that's horrible, and you'll really get the emotion out of it. No, I don't like this. Why you don't like this? Because of this and this and this. Knowing that you have the answer in your back pocket,
yeah,
it's like, all right, cool. You don't like that? All right, bet. I'm gonna figure something out, and then you show them what they really want.
Mm-hmm.
So it's emotional tactic, because logically we don't want to make the decisions, but emotionally it's like, yo, this feels right.
Yeah.
So if you attack the emotions of it, then it's going to help them make an easier decision. And it's your job to, persuade them that this is the best option that they should go with. So I always put myself in my client's shoes as if I was them, not just trying to close a sale or just get the deal. What would I do best? But yeah, that's a great strategy. I think entrepreneurs need to tap into more.
Yeah.
Really understand the psychology of, people buying things or people not buying things.
Yeah, bro. And I think that's what this episode is really about. It's about helping people understand, like, when you are running a business, you're gonna have clients that are always gonna say, I don't want to do it now. Like, let's push it back. And let's do it after my birthday. Let's do it after this trip. Let's do it after that, right? And that's always going to be an ongoing cycle. But the key, right? And as I'm saying it, I'm like, yo, I need to implement this of what I'm saying. But the key in overturning those is just kind of giving them options. But I think as you give them options, you got to make sure you truly have an understanding of what the problem is. So, for example, the lady that I told you about in the beginning of the episode, if I had did a better job in the diagnosing framework, it would have been way easier when she said, hey, LayKim, like, let's push this off. I would have been able to present her the options, right? Because one of the key questions in one of the selling episodes, I always ask when I'm diagnosing a problem, is I always ask this one question, and I don't know if people listened to the last episode, but I'll reiterate it. Is I ask them a question, is why can't you procrastinate on this anymore? Or why is it something you don't want to procrastinate on anymore? Whatever the reason is that they say that, that's the true thing. That's like the bullet. That's the ultimate bullet you have in the gun to be able to present back to them when they're like, I'll do it later. Then you bring back exactly what they said. It's like, yo, but I totally understand. I think it does. I could see why you would want to, do it later instead of now. But remember what you told me of why we can't procrastinate on this, or why you don't want to procrastinate on this anymore. And then that one question will eliminate the now or never scenario.
Damn. Yeah, I'll probably gotta go back and re-listen, because that's so fire. Because I always say that you want as much intel as possible about your client, about your prospect, so you would know how to convey it once you handle the objection before it comes up.
Yeah.
Because handling objections is a part of the sale. Like, everybody's not gonna be with it, as soon as you present them, no matter how valuable, you display it as. So it's really understanding that this pain has to leave now.
Yeah.
And you are the answer to get all my pain away. So whatever I got to do, you want them to say, yo, whatever I got to do, what's next? How much it costs?
Yeah.
How do I pay you?
That's so true, bro. And I think that's why I said one of my wins this week was I went back and I updated my sales script. I updated the sales script and I made the adjustments, and I'm like, yo, this sales script now really uncovers the true pain. So now the only thing that I need now is I need to get more people back in the funnel, right? And as I get them through the funnel, I feel like I went back to the diagnosing framework way, way better, and I got even more detail, right? So I just think for anyone listening to this episode, the key when you're talking to people and you're trying to close clients, and they're just, like, oh, like, I'll do it later, or, not right now, or they just keep pushing it back. We got to get great as professionals, as the solution providers, of letting them know why this needs to be done now. So KB, what would you say is maybe some of your final takeaways or thoughts on this topic?
Definitely handle it now. Like, stand on business. Because if you don't, it's going to be, much more difficult, much more complicated later. And for example, myself, like, I'm dealing with issue with my car insurance. I should have took care of it before, but now it's actually stressing me out because I have to go through all these loopholes. And it's one of those things where you have to remind yourself and take accountability that, why I'm playing around. Like, really, I started talking to myself, like, why I'm playing around, why I'm not getting it done. If it's easy, then just do it. So I remember in school and on the basketball team, they were like, the coach was like, yo, why are you getting a 70 in art? And I'm like, oh, art is easy. And he's like, why you don't got 100 then? So that conversation always, stay with me. And it's like, if it's easy, why don't you just do it? But if you don't know what you're doing, go get help. Reach out to somebody that's going to help you, get to the next goal, the next level. And handle it now. Don't wait till later.
Yeah, bro. And I guess my last and simple takeaway for this is, like, anything that you don't handle now will be more expensive later.
You're going to pay.
That's it, and and that's really it. Anything that's, that you can't handle now and you delay will be more expensive later, and you're going to pay the price. And I think we're making this episode to avoid our listeners from paying the price, and to help them guide their clients to make a decision now, so then that way their clients don't have to be more in pain and pay a higher fee just for solving something that they could get solved now. So yeah, exactly. So hopefully everyone that's listening, they got some type of value out of this episode, KB. I know this one was a short episode, right to the point. But anyone that's made it this far, do us a favor. If you got some value from what KB and I just shared, leave us a 5-star review. Every time you leave a review, it helps people learn more about the community. We get more exposure, and it lets people know of the weekly gems that KB and I are sharing. So if you got some value, share this with a friend, and leave us a 5-star review, and we appreciate y'all support.
Anyone can start, but only champions finish. Now that you've completed this episode, you're ready to continue your journey by connecting directly with our hosts of Entrepreneurhood. Follow us on Instagram at The Entrepreneurhood to stay updated with the community. For each episode, the first set of listeners to tag us on Instagram and leave a 5-star review will be entered into a drawing to get a free one-on-one coaching session on the topic of entrepreneurship with our hosts. Remember, there is no shame in struggling, because we fail, we grow, and we win. Right here on Entrepreneurhood.